Please welcome Rye Barcott, U.S. Marine Corps veteran and CEO of With Honor.
All right. Hey, everybody. How are you this morning? Great. I'm Rye Barcott, and I'm the founder and CEO of With Honor. With Honor fights polarization in Congress by supporting principled veterans, and clearly we are doing a hell of a job. But we are trying, and it's an interesting thing. In Congress, about 70% of Congress used to have military service in particular. This was before AmeriCorps was even founded and we had a concept of civilian service. Now less than 20% of members of Congress have served in the military, and less than 25% have served in either the military or some form of national service. And with that, I'm including nurses and teachers and folks that have served in AmeriCorps. We actually work with one of 30. We support 30 veterans across both party lines in the U.S. House, and then there's 6 bipartisan veterans in the Senate. There is one veteran who also is a Teach for America alumni. I believe she's the only one that has that dual service. Her name is Chrissy Houlihan, and she was the founding vice chair of a bipartisan caucus called the For Country Caucus, for as in F-O-R, Country Caucus, that now has 30 members in the House and has worked very closely with Voices for National Service and my very good friend now, Ann Mora, who will take a text or a call at any hour of the day or night. At least we sometimes do that, and have really is a really important advocate for this space to advance more service in the country. I'm going to say another word about that in a moment, but I just want to share a bit of a personal comment about service. My own path to service started in the military. I took an ROTC scholarship to UNC Chapel Hill, and I knew that I wanted to do make a difference in the world, and I assumed that would be the path that I would do that on. It was before September 11th, and most of the missions that the military was engaged in were of a peacekeeping nature. And so I decided to study Swahili at UNC Chapel Hill and took a summer fellowship, a paid fellowship that enabled me to go to the informal settlements in Nairobi and get to know other kids that were my age, about 20 at the time. And what I saw was this amazing sort of truism in life, which I've seen commented on many times at the Clinton Library, which is that talent is universal, but opportunity is not. It's really a profound concept, and you can understand it as soon as you get out of your comfort zone and put yourself into somebody else's shoes, as we heard from the opening panel. So at any rate, that was my path to service. It was a dual form of service. I co-founded an NGO in Kibera, in the informal settlement in Nairobi. That organization now is 23 years old. I'm on the board. I co-founded it with 2 Kenyans, a nurse and a community organizer in the informal settlements. And it does really good work to help inspire a next generation of leaders in the community and provide innovative public health to that community and knowledge that can benefit others. And so at any rate, that was my own path to service, and I think it's really important what we do at a young age. I'm in politics now, and there's this amazing statistic that if you vote between the age of 18 to 24 or so, you're something like 2 or 3 times more likely to be an active voter throughout the rest of your lives. If you serve during that period of time, you are more likely to be an engaged citizen. We know that. Many of you in this audience are experiencing it right now to this day. I just came back from Washington, D.C., where I was with my mentor and co-founder with Honor. He's a great champion for this cause. His name is David Gergen. Many of you know him. He's worked, of course, very closely with Alan Casey and so many others in this room. And about 4 weeks ago, a number of us who are mentees of David's decided that we were going to take out our tin cup and raise some money for a fellowship in his honor. And I was so pleased to be with Governor Wes Moore last night, or 2 nights ago, when he announced that he will be hosting the first David Gergen Summer Fellow in his office this summer. And this is a fellowship specifically for students who are between their first and second years at the Kennedy School, master's program, to go in and serve with top-notch leaders in government. We so need this. We need this at so many different levels. I mean, isn't it a stunning thing that less than 2% of Americans, young Americans, now serve? Less than 2. Less than 1 in the military and less than 2 otherwise. So we're trying to do something about that. At With Honor, we're really focused on just supporting good ideas. And from the very beginning of this organization 5 years ago, the veterans in the caucus, Republicans and Democrats, 19 at the time, now 30, almost all of them veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, came together and said, listen, we want to advance more voluntary national service. We need more civic education as well in the country. And we're looking at practical ways of getting stuff done. And so a couple years ago, I'm so glad that Senator Chris Coons is on the agenda. Wow, what a national treasure. Senator Coons and Senator Roger Wicker, who's an Air Force veteran and is part of our bipartisan allies of vets in the Senate, came together with a bill called the CORE Act. Many of you are aware of it. The CORE Act, bills sort of change in name and all, but working thanks to Voices for National Service and others, and I think we had a little role in it, helped get an initial expansion of AmeriCorps that, of course, is under threat now. It's at jeopardy. I mean, and in a big way. This is a real moment. And the news cycle's insane. I know it's insane, but we have to break through it. And you have to just keep pushing and making your voices heard. This is a moment right now, today, where we can do that. If you're on social media, et cetera, just push it out because people are not aware of it. And obviously the world's facing multiple crises right now, so it's difficult to break through that noise. But we're gonna keep pushing on it, and we're gonna try and break through the noise and continue to look at not only incremental additions to service opportunities, but really significant structural changes to get to the question that President Clinton asked, which is, what can the next 30 years look like? Yes, we need to just keep moving, and we will. Persistence is important in anything, whether you're building an organization, a business, whether you're serving in communities, as many of you do, that have seen extreme cycles of violence and poverty, which are difficult to break through. I love this line from Domingo Morales. Where is Domingo here? Yeah, so Domingo, you, by the way, the Army has changed their tattoo policies. So you might get an exemption. But I'm sort of glad they didn't at the time, right? Because your AmeriCorps service put you on a different trajectory. And one of the things that you said is, I want to make it a tradition, service a tradition in my family. And I hope that will be the case in mine as well. My father served in Vietnam. He passed away a couple years ago, but I saw from his example of service, my mother is a nurse and taught nursing for over 49 years. My daughter is here, Charlotte. She's 13. Good to have you here. She's missing school, but we have an exemption for the day. This is a learning opportunity, but I hope that you'll serve, in some capacity. It doesn't matter what that is, and of course you already are giving back. We helped welcome some Afghan refugees to our community over the last 2 years after that withdrawal. So at any rate, I should come to a close because I'm at 5 minutes, but I want to just close by quoting Governor Wes Moore, who has been a friend for a long time. He was one of the first members of our advisory board. He was the first ever gubernatorial candidate that With Honor's political arms endorsed and got behind. And he said, and I know his chief of staff, I think, is here speaking later today. He said, "Service will save us. Service will save us." I love that line. I think we do need salvation. It's not an overstep right now. We need salvation. President Clinton referred to it as, this can help knit this country back together. It's that and it's more, and you guys are a part of it, and we're delighted to be a small part of it as well. Thank you.